right, here we are again. Everybody back together. I got Tom, Crunch, and Alan. Alan didn't go to Wisconsin or
No,
anything
I'm
else.
here this week.
Do you got anything for the show this week? Do you come up with anything?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right, moving on. What's up, Crunch?
How are you, Mike?
What's going on, man?
Same old, same old. Happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. I think it's a very beneficial deal to have you here.
Oh,
I would agree.
I feel special.
Michael?
What's up, Thomas? I was going to say hi to you.
No,
I wasn't going to leave you hanging.
Hey, Mike.
What's going on?
Same thing, man.
So we've already established that Alan doesn't have anything, but I think James has some grudge race stuff. Tom has some 1 mile stuff, which relates back to our
half-mile stuff.
half-mile argument that I am undoubtedly still winning.
Of course, in his world.
Tom doesn't think so, but I know so.
I know.
Why don't we start with your half-mile shit or 1 mile stuff and get it out of the way, and tell me what magical piece of information you've gleaned this week.
Well, we found this Timothy Bailey guy. I think that's his name, right? He's got a full-on 5-second Pro Mod car.
Mm-hmm.
Twin turbo, 615, probably a 3,500 horsepower car.
Okay.
He's got dual overdrives,
Okay.
and he claims he's going to try to go 300 in the standing mile. Now, based on your conversation, trying to go 300 is just stupid, right?
It is stupid.
Yeah.
I can't see how the thing couldn't go every bit of probably 350
Or 400.
Wow.
I just
Yeah, see, and this is where we've been differing in opinion,
Mhm.
because I think there are going to be, problems with things that we're not thinking of that are just unknowns. They're unknowns. I mean, this guy he didn't come out and say, yeah, I'm going to go 300 in a mile. Like it's stupid. I called Mike up and he reminded me how stupid it was to be able to go 300.
okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Well, there's any number of mechanical issues you're going to have taking a quarter-mile drag car of that caliber
Mhm.
and running it for that many more seconds.
And what
Heat?
Okay. Heat and what?
Is that motor going to stay together?
Yeah, the amount of time the motor's going to spend at full song. It's not like hanging out, the last eighth of a quarter mile.
Full song would be wide open throttle for all those people who are not into the terms.
Okay, I got it.
I've never heard that before.
No, I've heard it. I've
Full
heard
song?
it. Yeah, because they say my boys are Top Gear.
Oh, okay.
They say that.
They say it with an accent?
Yes.
Got it.
I don't do accents.
Okay.
Right.
One quick thing to
Mhm.
stop here. If you could complete the quarter mile in 5 seconds, 5 and change,
Mhm.
exactly how long do you think it's going to complete the 1 mile, traveling at hopefully 300, according to this guy? You're not going to be out there that long, dude. There's not that much more time added. It's not like we're adding another 5 seconds.
But a lot of those guys race the 8th mile with Pro Mods,
Right.
with nitrous oxide, because the quarter mile blows their motors up with nitrous.
Okay.
So you figure if that's an extra 1/8 that can terminate a motor, wow.
I'm
Going
looking
from quarter mile to a mile is a long way.
I am going to defer back to our resident expert, Anthony DeSoma, who's not here.
Right.
But
Well, what does he know? Why do you have to defer? What does he know about building an engine that you don't know?
a lot.
Nonsense.
Maybe not how it,
Where's my soundboard?
Yeah. Fuck. We'll get you a soundboard. No, what Anthony has is practical experience with turbocharged stuff. And what he did say very specifically the other day is that the turbo stuff just runs and runs and runs. Remember, he goes out and he gets a sandwich and he gets lunch between rounds or whatever. And
Okay.
Yeah, he says that, but it runs and runs and runs for 4 seconds.
60 passes on his motor before he touches it.
4 seconds at a time.
I don't think you got a nitrous guy that ever makes 60 passes without anything.
In a lifetime.
I know, yeah.
No, I hear that.
That's pretty
And
No,
again,
you got to sell them a case of pistons every spring.
We like it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, so let's, and I'm sure probably Alan, I'm not going to put you on the spot on the math since you're the engineer, but if you traveled,
He's an engineer.
yes, he is.
Alan?
I've heard that.
You guys didn't know that? I got it.
I am an engineer.
He is.
Okay.
If
It's
you
official.
traveled the first quarter mile in 5 seconds, you're starting the next quarter mile. And again, Tom, we're not going to argue about the
traction, the mile an hour. Yeah,
right. We're just going to say that
Yep.
Anthony said they could go 270.
Okay.
So if they could go 270, you're going to complete that last, what would be 3/4 of a mile, starting from 270 if you got there. Now, we probably can all agree that he's probably not going to get to 270 on a street that's not prepped. You know, it's not a drag strip.
Well, he was
But
he was going to do this at the Texas Mile, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that prepped?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if he said Texas Mile, but
Oh, okay. I thought that in particular was prepped.
Listen, I'm going to go on record and say if he's going to a prepped place and it is prepped as well as a drag strip, and he only thinks he's going to go 300, I would call him right now and ask him if it's broken already.
Wow.
You could go 270 in a
you
quarter.
expect him to
All right,
go?
listen
You
to me.
expect him to go 350?
wait, Mike,
I wouldn't even
Mike,
want to guess.
Mike, listen.
Yeah.
All right, so why is it that the current record holder now is a Ford GT? It makes just over 2,500 horsepower,
Okay.
and it's gone. And I mean, Ford GT is pretty aero.
I would agree.
It's gone 283.
Yes.
I mean, and I know for a fact, I know the guy who builds bulk of the 4.6 liter, 5.4 liter stuff that goes to Texas Mile.
Right.
They blow stuff up constantly
Okay.
because the stress is involved of that second, not only the second quarter mile, but the third quarter mile and the last quarter mile are, I don't know. I don't know the answer, but I know there are stresses there.
I'm sure the aerodynamic comes up incredibly.
Incredibly.
I'm sure it does.
Because it's like throwing a toaster through a windstorm.
But my...
Did I just say toaster?
Yes.
Yes,
I don't
you
know.
did.
Why would you pick a toaster?
Because
Head injury?
He's a funny guy.
can we cut that out?
No. You're living with that one.
I know.
If you go 270 and a quarter, if you could, I can't imagine
I know you
that
keep saying that.
you don't have another 30 mile an hour in your car. Now, hold up. The reason that I would say that is if we could ever look at timing from the 1,000-foot mark at the track to see what the mile per hour pickup is from the 1,000 to the
Well,
quarter.
You can.
Okay. Well, I mean, we might with more information. Ask our pal Anthony from DeSoma Racing Engines, and I don't have his phone number, so he's screwed.
South Clinton Avenue, South Clinton.
Whatever. If you looked at the mile per hour increase from the 1,000-foot to the quarter, if that mile per hour increase is still occurring at a very ridiculous rate,
Yeah, but it's not. You should know that.
I would imagine that it might be a little less, but I'm curious to see if that last 320 feet. Oh, here we go again.
No, I just wanted to do that because it's funny. I'm going to actually look up. I might be able to Google incrementals. For
So,
a promo
I mean, if you could get an incremental to go 275, you know, what it took to go 275, that would give you the amount of increase over that footprint.
Right.
And then you
I'm
can
anxious to know, but I'm a quarter mile guy. So anything after the quarter mile,
unknown. Now, I would say, like we're talking about longevity of components.
Right.
If we can take the motor out of it, it is a wet motor. It is a billet block, but it's wet.
Mhm.
So it is cooled. Sounds like it will be running alcohol. So I think
That's going to help.
heat saturation of everything gets better when you're running alcohol. Somebody said, might have been Tom. Is the rear end going to handle that? My question is,
Right.
what are you using a salt flats car? Do they have some magical salt flats rear end? Probably not. It's probably somebody like Strange or one of the companies. It's probably something very similar.
I've seen them at Winters. I've seen them with 9 inches.
Winters, really? The same shit we put in our stupid ass circle track car?
Yep.
I wouldn't trust that thing to go 150.
a quick change.
Yeah,
They
I've
got
seen
this
it.
big giant rear, and then they got these two little gears on the back. That I hear you. I'm with you.
I wouldn't-
put that in a go kart.
No. We use them in my brother's circle track car.
It'll be very interesting to find out this information.
Yeah, no, and I
actually
can
do
do a little math for us all, and when we continue the discussion, since it comes up every week anyway, I'll have a little bit more info.
Crunch,
The engineer.
when we're done here,
Okay.
I'm going to hand you $10.
Okay.
Okay. And I want Crunch to hand you $10. I'd even go a little higher.
Tom?
I mean, Tom. I'd even go a little higher. I'd go up to 100, and you could be the guy to hold it. And I guarantee you that guy, if the motor makes the power he says, he's going to go faster than 300. Has there ever been anything like this car approaching the Texas Mile? Has there ever been a full-on
Not
Pro
that
mod?
not that I know of.
So this is so unknown.
Wow.
I think the guy's looking at the paperwork and saying, we got to go this fast. The arrow's got to come up this much. And I'm not saying there's not calculations or anything involved, but I can't believe there's only 30 mile an hour left.
I don't think anybody with the quarter mile killers are going to try it.
No.
It's going to take somebody with some balls.
This guy's got a screw loose if he's driving it.
Yeah, he does.
But
Yeah,
he's set up to run the quarter mile, and the overdrive system is for if he ever tried the 1 mile.
Yeah.
So he's definitely still geared for a quarter mile pass.
And
to make
that's
a blast.
something I can't imagine.
Picture the body. The body is like probably optimized for 220, 30 mile an hour in terms of downforce.
No, I think
now you're going to throw more at it.
No, I think they did the body for this.
Okay.
In fact, they put a splitter on the front.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they did in the back, but they did it, and they narrowed it 6 inches.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just thinking in terms of if you have X amount of downforce at 220 for 8th mile racing,
Yeah.
and now you're going to throw another 100 mile an hour at it, what's going to happen with those forces?
This is definitely
True.
going to take multiple passes.
Yeah.
And,
he's not doing his first tryout, not by a long shot.
and the overdrive unit, what the hell is going to ever handle that kind of power input? Because you got to think about
that mile an hour.
you
Well,
got
yeah, but you're at speed already once you engage one of them. So how much torque is it really going to see?
I don't know.
Well, but
It's still gotta
then
pass
again,
through.
Yeah, it's still got to pass through the wind.
And you got to pass through your first gear at 4,000 horsepower multiplied by the geez, that's
Exactly.
It's going to be very
my point,
interesting
dude.
to see.
These have been my points since we
shall
started
see.
this.
We shall see. Now, Mike, I know you guys heard about the fatal street race
yep.
Yeah,
in California.
California. Yep.
And that has a big impact because we were talking about the NHRA with the letters that they sent out and everything, and come to find out this guy was actually on Street Outlaws.
Yeah.
Now I didn't know that, and I had sent you the link from where I guess it was the second guy turned himself in.
Okay.
I think that's what I had sent you.
Right.
And Tom had made mention that the Street Outlaws that he appeared on Street Outlaws or had some kind of tie into Street Outlaws.
Yeah,
and I didn't find that in what I
apparently-
was looking at.
Apparently, I sent you the link, and you saw it now, right? He appeared.
Yeah, I really didn't read it.
Yeah. Well,
But you did
Tom,
send
send it to me. Send it to me. And I did.
I'm a trade wreck.
You are.
Yeah, I believe the guy appeared on the episode where they went to California to race.
All right. Well, this is just so we're clear that we're not, blowing smoke out of our asses or saying something that we made up. This is on Motor Trend, published March 5th. Former Street Outlaws driver charged with murder in L.A. race deaths.
Probably shouldn't mention names, but
No, but I mean, we probably shouldn't. That's his name. Okay. Yeah.
what's wrong with his name?
Street Outlaws. Well, now wait a minute. Was he on Street Outlaws or did he just have pictures taken with him? Both of them in charge of murder. Blah, 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 blah. Both suspects.
I don't think that. Well, that's not a picture of any Street Outlaws guys right there.
It's not?
No.
No.
All right.
I mean, the headline says.
Oh, yeah. The guy who we
Who
won't
appeared as a
mention.
driver.
Who appeared as a driver. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Man.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
bad. That's bad for the show. It's
That's
bad.
bad
it's
for the show, but that
racing.
also brings back the point that we were trying to drive home of how, how silly the show is to put this out there and promote it. When we knew it, as a bad thing when we were coming up, we did participate. But then NHRA trying to bring it off the street and bring it to the tracks, that would make sense why they sent those letters out.
Yeah. Yep.
Boy, I really failed on show prep on that. Tom sent it to me. I didn't even read it. Man.
We forgive you.
Thank
You
you.
didn't say anything on the list that we weren't supposed to say. So
Give me a little bit of time. I'm sure it's coming.
You ought to give yourself a man. Is that stupid?
Yeah, I have that. I have that. That's one. I got it muted. I can't even. Failure.
Train wreck.
This is it gonna take somebody getting killed on the Street Outlaws show?
for them to understand the severity of it all.
Look, here's the problem. We become the old guys.
Right.
We have. We become
family members.
Yeah. We become our parents who would have been like, listen, you idiot, you're not doing that.
Right.
You're not going to go race on the street. Don't go down there. It's dangerous. I mean,
Right.
my father was very much like that,
Right.
And he was right.
and he was right. But
He was
when
right.
you're younger, you don't see it.
Well,
You
you have no fear.
And we were slower.
Think about how much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cars were slower.
No.
But fast enough. I mean, you get killed going 25 mile an hour.
there were accidents at the hole, but nothing ever tragic like that.
But were
Two
you ever
people died.
scared?
I was scared my last race. I said that in the prior.
Well,
show.
yeah.
The
But,
last race I had, I knew I was going entirely too fast.
but I
to be
mean,
on the
coming
street.
up, I mean, I remember racing down the end of Route 18 and going crazy fast on, slicks with tubes in them on a street,
Right.
and you know what that feels like. And
you don't think about it when you're making
No.
a test run.
no.
No, I mean, and there were times that I went out with one of the Mustang weirdos and tested on Route 78, and made hard passes.
Yeah,
Now back then
yeah.
they were probably going in the 8s, maybe
Right.
bottom 9s.
And you were sitting in the
8s.
passenger seat, right?
Passenger seat,
No
yeah.
seatbelt, right?
Yeah, you're right. No seatbelt, holding a laptop like an idiot.
And you say that like it's slow. Yeah, back then they were only going like in the low 9s or
Yeah,
maybe
no,
high 8s.
Anybody who has not been in a car, especially
It would make them cry.
yeah,
An 11-second car would make somebody scared.
when you're a passenger.
Yeah.
Because when you're a passenger, everything is a surprise. Like,
Right.
when's the guy getting on it? Oh my God, gear change. When you're driving, you have that connection to your machine that you're shifting. You
Yep.
know your inputs. You know what's going to happen. A guy
Right.
standing there, nails dug into the dashboard. But yeah, I was sitting there, and after a couple passes, I was used to it. And I'm sitting there with a laptop,
Yep.
no seatbelt, and a racing seat.
Yep.
Holding my laptop, holding on to something, hold my laptop accelerating so it wasn't sliding all over. You know what I mean?
And just think of all the stuff that could have happened.
Yeah. Deer.
Well, deer.
I hit a deer in my Corvette at 55.
Blow a tire.
Yeah. Little tires.
Blow a tire.
Tire
no,
shaking.
No,
Anything.
it's
no
insanely
seatbelt.
stupid, especially considering we have a nice drag strip right over there, Englishtown.
Yep.
They're more than happy to turn the lights out.
True indeed. I think this will have a big impact on the show. This will have a big impact on
It's sad.
the
A couple people got
upcoming
killed.
Yeah, no,
it
that's
justifies the House of Grudge doing things at the track.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
'Cause
No,
street
it-
outlaws,
It will take somebody dying on the show, or I don't think they'll show anybody dying on the show, but it will take one of those stars. Or the thing that I'm curious about is, at a certain point, somebody's going to have the statistics of, well, street racing deaths have gone up X% since this show
since
became
the show
popular.
started.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it does
That'd be
absolutely
detrimental.
influence some people. It does. People watch this and, if you got the kids that are, not glued to a video game console, and they're car kids or car guys, which I think are probably a little fewer than they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You have kids watch this and they're like, wow, we could do that here. Or I know where we could go race. And
Yeah,
then,
I know a road.
yep, I know a
Next thing
road
you
that
know.
would be perfect. Now with the Street Outlaws thing, watching them, they're good about not having anybody down the track
Too
that I
far
ever
down
saw.
track.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
You got the guy that starts and maybe a couple people on the side to watch the cars, in their first 60. But like this last thing where they ran their cash days, we talked about last time, there's trees down the side of the road.
Right,
And
right.
if they are in fact running an eighth and they are in fact as fast a cars as we would believe them to be, you're not going to get a second chance to hit one of those trees.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't care what kind of cage you got.
No. So, and there's another point about the fatalities and what could potentially happen. Are you telling me that all of these guys now don't have any other racing going on the side on the street? What's going to happen when these guys goes out and has an accident street racing just to street race? Not on the show, but
Yeah.
they're settling something, like
Just for kicks.
just for kicks. And that guy gets either arrested, hurt somebody else. I mean,
They're going to sue the show.
Yep.
there'll be an air brake on that show so fast. That'll be it.
It's all bad. The whole, all the prospects for that show are bad.
I like the show.
I know.
I like
know.
the show. I
No,
hate to
I
say
like
it.
the
Did you watch it
horsepower.
this week?
Yes, I did.
And them now wanting to travel the country, seeking out other street racers, seems like it could have been a good opportunity for them to at least get closer to where we're at. Let's have grudge nights around the country
At
on a track,
racetracks, yeah.
with an ambulance and the police and all of that.
I was just going to say, they ain't got a prayer in hell of coming to New Jersey and getting any kind of police department or anything to sign off on them racing or filming anywhere doing any of this shit.
No.
I think we took good care of that.
Yeah, that will never, ever happen.
They drive over the bridge and go right to jail.
Yeah, because I do know some of what goes into securing the racetracks from a state police perspective because of the circle track stuff.
Yep.
Right.
I don't even want to get into how bad those hillbillies are. Up there, I am. Said it, hillbillies.
Hillbilly, you can't say that.
All right, the
on the
local circle track guys, how bad
Local
they are.
circle track guys. That's good.
When we go to Englishtown or any track we go to, it doesn't matter if you've seen a tech guy 5 times, 500 times, 5,000 times. He techs your car. He looks at your car. He makes sure your belts are good, looks to make sure you have the proper lug nuts and, just general safety stuff. Catch can, all the dumb shit that are the punch list. And of course, if you go faster, you get certifications, everything else.
Yep.
You go to the circle track stuff, the first week you're there, if they get to you, they'll safety inspect your car.
Yep.
They don't get to you, they get you the next week.
Yep.
They don't get you that week, they'll get you the next week.
You'll be all right.
You'll be okay.
But you're way less likely to get hurt in a circle track car.
Yeah, never
nobody-
contact,
Especially on dirt.
Yeah, of course not.
Nobody dies done that.
But that's, I mean, when we went there the first time, when Brian tested with a very good race car driver from around here, Billy Pouch, and he was running on a 5/8. It's a big track, and
That is a big track.
yeah, he's
Fast.
really going, and he never drove anything before. Nobody inspected the car when we got there. It was just, all right, go out on the track and make some laps, and then come in, and Billy will tell you. It was a school kind of thing. Well, I'll tell you what I think you need to do.
Gotcha.
We get to the racetrack, and I don't think our first race they checked anything at all. Nothing.
Can I tell a story
Sure.
that I just thought of?
Sure.
About 12 years ago, I went to a race in Boone, Iowa. It's called the Boone Nationals, I think. It's a dirt track race.
Okay.
There are, no lie, 500 or 600 cars. It's like a 24-hour race. They race into 2, 3 in the morning. Then they have a unbelievably bad wet t-shirt contest. But anyway,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I could only imagine that.
There's a word for it, but it's on a list.
Iowa and wet t-shirt contest. Okay.
I think circle track and wet t-shirt contest is
Either one.
enough.
So anyway, I've never been any place like this, but I get to the track, and this is a true story.
Couldn't
Get
put
to
a
the track.
mouthful of teeth out of that whole place.
It's about, I think it's like a half mile.
Yeah.
And around one side of the turn,
Yeah.
it's an oval.
Yeah.
And on the banked oval side, there are wooden stands built about 20 feet higher than the bank. You have to climb up like a bunch of stairs, and then you're sitting in these wooden stands. And there's no barrier. And I look at it, and I'm like, wow, if a car comes off the track and goes into those stands, it'll knock the stands down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that would never fly in New Jersey. No way. So anyway, they race and wet t-shirt and a lot of fun and blah, blah, blah. The next year I don't go.
Yeah.
A car gets tangled up with another car, enter in the turn, breaks the steering, flies into the stands, clips the posts, knocks the whole thing down. People get hurt. Nobody dies, thank God, but knocks the whole thing down. And there's a big story about it.
See, like that kind of shit, like
never happened here.
never happen here. Street outlaw guys, don't ever think about it.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
I thought that'd be funnier than it was, but believe me, it was.
it's. I could just imagine it because there are a couple circle tracks in Pennsylvania that are almost as bad.
Yeah.
But New Jersey takes the safety very seriously. Like you've got a catch fence, you got a back of a catch fence, you got catch wires. I mean,
They wouldn't.
You know,
they wouldn't even fix the street where we used to race because they knew we'd come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
used to-
at NHRA, we all get restricted area passes, so you can go on a starting line. If you're a sponsor or you're with a team, you get a restricted area tag,
Right.
and you can go on the starting line and watch your class or your team or whatever. And that's controlled by the tracks everywhere except New Jersey. New Jersey, they have state police on the starting line.
Yep.
And they actually don't care what you're doing. They just don't let you out there unless you are with the car that is racing at that time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Now we're a very well controlled state in those aspects.
Yep.
And the circle track stuff has gotten better. Like now, it used to be safety inspection. How did anybody ever know your car passed? Well, the tech guy said I passed. No sticker. You don't sign anything. No nothing. Now, when you go to like specifically New Egypt Speedway, which is by far probably the nicest speedway in New Jersey for dirt tracks, you get a sticker. It goes on a roll cage. Now the cars have to be welded in with a serial number on the main tube. They never had serial numbers, so you could have a car that was 30 years old, 50 years old.
Weren't you involved in that in Tekken at somewhere?
At Bridgeport, but it was
that's right.
half-assed. The whole thing's half-assed. I mean, it is what it is. It's local circle track racing. I mean, people cheat. You try to catch them. They're good old boys.
Mhm.
It's kind of what it is.
Is there another word for good old boys?
Hillbillies.
That's
You can't use
Ding.
hillbillies, Mike. It's on the list.
I always wanted all the street race guys, and I even told you when this was going on, Crunch, that I would like you and a lot of the guys that I was friendly with to come down there and watch this. I would
Right.
just like you to see what it's like.
The circle track stuff?
Yeah, the dirt stuff, because it's just
You've never been?
I've never been, but I've seen some of those motors, man. I was like, wow.
and
They making some power.
they're in a
I've been.
2,500 horsepower. 2,500 pound car. With a driver on dirt.
And then like 410 cubic inch.
Oh yeah, the sprint stuff.
That stuff's crazy.
Yeah. My father, before he passed away, had told me this isn't because he knew that he was passing away. I mean, he was that guy. So I said, when I'm dead, you better not fill in the blank here. And the list got longer as the years went on. One of the things that he made both my brother and I promise that never, ever, ever will you get into a sprint car. Never. Because they are that dangerous.
They are.
They really are. That's anything that anybody does if you're in a sprint car, I would submit that they're probably more dangerous than an F1 car.
I would absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
Because of the horsepower to weight ratio?
And not only that, there's nothing to them. Nothing.
No frame.
Well, there's a frame, but it's marginal at best.
It's small.
Yeah.
You're so close to it. They make nearly 900 horsepower right now.
Yeah.
They're direct drive, which is bizarre because it's a really high-tech car. Everything's titanium. It's as light as you can get, and you got to have a bunch of pickup trucks out there starting them up because there's no starter on the car.
Well, with a place like that, you can always find a lot of pickup trucks.
That's true.
Who drives them?
Hillbillies.
Exactly.
All right, moving on.
Use that, Alan.
Back off the circle track stuff. The one thing that I would say is that I think these street outlaw guys are really painting themselves into a corner. It's going to be, at some point, there is going to be an issue.
It's not an if, it's a when.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I hate it.
But they sparked the buzz. They got us all, watching TV again.
Yep. And the one other thing that we got to talk about real quick before we get off these guys, because I feel like we got to toll on them every week.
And we have.
Who told them they have the fastest cars in the United States? Was that just a proclamation that they made?
I don't know. Same people that gave them all their names.
Well, they can state it
Although
until they're proved wrong.
Well, come on. They don't have the fastest street cars. Come on.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why they would be in the.
I mean, how many guys with power like that are going to race on the street?
Well, that's the other part.
Take
So
the risk of,
are you saying that you're the fastest idiots that are willing to risk their lives?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I mean,
that was harsh, Mike.
It was harsh, and I don't mean that because they're
not.
Idiot.
It's not even.
It
on
is
the
on the
list.
list. You put it on the list.
I put it on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, you can't use idiot.
I think that one's slid down to like number 4. There were probably a couple pre-show that came in that were a little more offensive.
Oh yeah. Street idiots.
That was
a little ring.
I like the fact that these guys are car guys. They're really not idiots. That's not fair. And every time I call them idiots, they're idiots for risking their lives. Okay. But they're none of those guys that manage to build and assemble cars like this, no matter what their level. I don't think any of these guys are helmet bag drivers that bring their car to some guy and he fixes every little thing and then the guy shows up and gets in a car. I mean, these are guys that work and maintain their own cars.
Yep.
So they're not stupid.
Right.
The only thing that makes them stupid is where they're doing this and what could potentially happen.
And,
True.
Yeah, and the lead that other people are following.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Now I have another thought here. I'm going to throw at you guys. I need some opinions.
Okay.
When we race for money, grudge race for cash, the way we all know it, you don't know what the other car runs. You're going to gamble that you're going to beat them based on whatever you have as knowledge. So you place a wager. This wager has a dollar amount. Now, back in the day, we've seen races for $500. We've seen races for $1,000, $2,500, $10,000.
Sure.
And the bigger guys, the big dogs of the game, we've seen them race for $100,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Nowadays, 2015, the class guys are going in between rounds to make it look like a grudge race, so they place a little wager.
Now let's just clarify something. When we say class racing, we're not talking about all classes of racing, right? Isn't this kind of more restricted?
Like
the super stock?
Yeah, I don't think the super stock guys are doing
no,
this.
not
and the pro stock guys ain't
I'm
doing
saying I don't want to name the names.
No, but you're
single
talking
these guys
about
out, but like 275 outlaw guys.
Turbo class guys.
They have to qualify. So while they qualify, they say, let's put up a wager of who's going to get there first.
Right.
Both men know what the other man has run as far as ETM out now already. So there's not a lot of unknown taken out of it. But they put up a wager, $3,000 between two cars that are worth $200,000
each.
So you got $400,000 worth of equipment going on the track.
For $3,000 on a bet.
Well,
hey, Crunch, flip a quarter. I got $1 in my pocket. That's about what we're. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can see where they think they're putting their money where their mouths are, but they don't know. To true street racers and gamblers and grudge racers for cash, you're exploiting the game and making a mockery of it with the small bet. Now, if they bet 50 grand on that one pass, now you're showing me you really think you're putting your money where your mouth is for two
Let me be
cars of that
devil's
caliber.
advocate here.
Go ahead. I know what you're going to say. Before you say it, you're going to say they were going down the track for free.
They were.
Right. Were you going to say that?
No, well, I was going to say that. I was going to say they're qualifying anyway. So
Well, you're a
they
cheap
are
motherfucker.
They are. So they
trying
are
to consolidate.
So they're going to make a pass.
Right.
So listen, I know $3,000 doesn't sound like a lot of money to somebody who races for 20 or 30 or whatever.
Right.
But I would take every 3,000 somebody wants to give me.
Right.
So
You're also the guy that wanted to rob my change jar and cash it in for half because you carried it to the bank. So yeah, you might be a little cheap.
that wasn't robbing, and
Although you wanted a percentage or some shit.
No, I was making you an offer, hedging that the jar was worth more,
Right.
and you always turned me down because you didn't know,
No, I didn't know.
and now you just don't care.
No, I don't care.
I know.
Don't care.
But anyway, why would they not if you could make another $3,000 because you're doing something anyway, why wouldn't you?
Well,
It's a qualifying pass. I
Right.
hear what you're saying.
in true
I hear
grudge
you.
racer for cash thinking, if I had a $200,000 car, it wouldn't even show me any kind of respect
I
on
hear
that
you.
level if I didn't race for at least 10,000.
I hear you. But you see, these guys, that's just another reason that these guys aren't you.
Right.
You know, these guys, most of these guys have cubic money. They do this because it's the thing that they're doing now. I would
like
bet.
grudging is a fad now,
Yeah. I mean, the racing thing is a fad to a lot of them.
but they have a spare motor worth 100,000.
I
They
know.
have two transmissions
Dude,
worth
I've seen
20,000.
guys get into racing. Do you remember the R2B2 guy? Did you ever hear about him?
No.
Okay, R2B2 is a guy from Georgia. He invented a computer program that allowed pharmaceutical companies to talk to pharmacies. And I think I'm getting this right. The details aren't exact, but he made a couple of $1 billion.
Wow.
And he sold the company, he bought a couple jets. I've been to his place. He's got race cars and jets in the same hangar. Anyway, he sponsored an NHRA event. He had an alcohol funny car, a pro mod car, 2 pro mod cars. He was involved, spending cubic money. Who the hell drove for him? A woman. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He had Proline power. He had all good stuff.
Right.
And then one day the fad was over. And same thing with a&nb. You know, they put millions and millions of dollars in, and then the fad was over and they just walk away. So my point is, a lot of these people have so much money. They're doing it anyway. They got $3,000 in their pocket. They say, hey, we're going out there anyway. We're qualifying. I'm going to try to make a good hit. I bet I'd make a better hit than you do.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to bet? $3,000. Okay.
I got to ask Crunch a question. Do you think some of this is because we're in a position that you are racing a guy that you've made watch make tons of passes? That's who you're trying to set up a race with. You know everything about this guy's car. He probably knows everything about your car.
Right.
It really is more of a gamble than like before. But and I'm trying to assemble this train of thought without it derailing horribly. To me, if I was going to Newark and I had a car with me and I knew how fast that car could go because it's my car or a car I'm involved with, I knew.
Right.
And I knew that somebody was messing with me. They wanted to race, that I was reasonably certain that I could not get that car could never go as fast as I could go. I would be more willing to hit my pocket deeper and deeper and deeper.
Right.
Now, when you got these guys, they know their own deal. So now think about the
Like the
collision.
3,000, right? The 3,000 was
That's
just
an excellent
token.
a token just to say, okay, we grudge raced, but we weren't really confident.
Right.
Because if I was confident, I would have bet a lot more money.
Yep.
Because those guys have seen it actually happen in the way it's supposed to happen.
Yep.
So
The-
they knew better.
The real grudge guys don't know how fast the other guy is. So what you need is the one guy who says, I know how fast my shit is, and I know I can beat that guy. And you have the other guy saying exactly the same thing.
Right.
That's when you have the collision.
And neither one knows.
Yep. And then that's
So
when
the unknown is present.
egos and feelings and everybody comes way up with cash
and price tag.
and there it goes. And that to me is more exciting. And that's what the NHRA should be marketing.
I agree.
Right there.
Yep.
Well, the reality, sorry, Alan, but the reality of this whole thing is, you're talking about $400,000 worth of cars racing for $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I don't know how much an X275 or an Outlaw 10.5 race pays, but do they pay 20 grand? Is that even worth it? You got
Probably not.
I
That's
mean,
what-
you got to go 4
I mean,
rounds.
they're not gonna.
Four or 5 rounds of racing plus qualifying to win 20 grand.
I don't think there's anybody in this room that could name me one form of racing that
NASCAR,
you actually make money
Winston Cup.
as the team. Well, no, wait, but see, that's bullshit because it's not because you won. You know why they make money?
sponsor.
They get paid by advertisers.
Well, did you ever look at the winning payouts?
And do you really think how many races whoa, you run that whole race?
Go ahead. I know a little bit about this.
I'm sure you do, and maybe you could educate me. And this one, I might actually believe you on.
Go ahead.
If you take a cup team and they're going to run a year,
That's a jab,
Yep.
Alan.
okay, what if they had nothing? Like somebody came in with a magic NASCAR eraser and erased their whole team, everything.
Well, that's a tough question because first year and then,
Okay.
years after are different. But
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, when you're looking at, we were just comparing the price of the vehicle and everything it took to run the car to go in the 275 class and say, do you make money?
Mhm.
You know, I mean, if a 275 guy won 20 grand and he didn't blow a motor up, wreck a car, have something go, yeah, he made money.
Yeah.
To get there for sure.
Yep.
I can't imagine that Winston Cup on its merits without massive amounts of influx of money from advertisers could ever make money.
Agreed.
There's no way it could happen.
I agree.
But expand on your thoughts.
Well, no, I was just thinking about from a driver's standpoint. Once you get in,
Paid driver, the only guy that makes money at the racetrack.
true.
Well, there was a trend for a long time for people attempting to qualify, collect the last place money after 2 laps and go home.
Oh, yeah.
And they were making money. They weren't making a ton, but they were
Morgan Shepherd type people.
Exactly. I mean, that's one way to make money at it because the purses are so big, even for last.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can just get qualified, you get paid.
Yep.
Oh, that's
And-
NASCAR.
And you don't have to buy 30 motors and
And it's true. I mean, if 42 people show up, you can qualify with your rental car. Well, you can't because you
I
got
don't know
to
if
pay.
you fit the templates.
No, you got to fit the template. You got to pass tech. But no, you could show up with anything and be 20 miles an hour off, and I think they pay you 25 or 35 grand.
There was somebody, my brother, because
smokes.
we were, Brian
Yeah.
and I both
I
were
never
look-
knew that.
Oh yeah.
Brian and I
Big
were
one.
both looking at property in Lake Norman, North Carolina, because it's a very, I think it's what it's Norman.
Lake Norman.
Yeah. Very nice
By
area.
Mooresville.
A lot of cup guys live there. Really beautiful area.
Nearly all of them.
Drag strip.
Yeah.
Drag strip there too in
Yeah,
Mooresville.
in Mooresville.
Yep.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful area. And Brian knew somebody that was selling a house that lived there, and it was a cup driver, and I can't remember the name. It just completely out of my head. But he was doing exactly that in racetracks. He knew as a privateer type guy, he was not competitive. He would get qualified, he'd take the green, he'd pull off, load his car, and go home. And you do what you got to do to pay the bills, dude. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But
I'm
even,
just looking at the sport from a class, and you remember Dwayne? We used to do the BF Goodrich class.
yeah,
Now the Mickey Thompsons have the cars going so fast. So now the class races.
he
or
was
the
always a
match races.
supercharger guy, right? Like he started
Yeah,
out
yeah,
with a big
superchargers.
blower, like
Dwayne-
regular blower.
Dwayne.
Dwayne, Big Daddy.
Big Daddy,
Cubs,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah. I think he always had a supercharger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think he's turbo now.
Right.
He's been turbo for a while.
Yeah, he's turbo now. Man. Everybody's turbo now. They're flying. But the class guys, the guys that go to the track and don't do what we do at the track, they're taking the same, like it was taboo for the class guys to have a lot of people around the cars when they come up to the staging lanes.
Right.
Now you see the class guys, they got all these people on the start line. So they're taking the grudge races aspect of that and putting it into their thing to make it more exciting.
The entourage.
For less money. They're getting all the accolades for less money. That's how I'm looking at it. So maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. Tell me, Mike.
No, I would want to see the racing go down for more money, but by the same token, as a spectator or somewhat of a degenerate gambler, I'd want to have a little bit more mystery. Well, I mean, this is what's wrong. All gamblers have a system.
Right.
They all do.
Well,
I mean, I remember my idiot.
Or they think they do.
No, my idiot friend John sitting there
Can't
staring
say
at.
idiot.
He's an idiot. He'll call in and tell you he's an idiot.
If you knew John, you'd take it off the list.
He sat there and watched a roulette table for about 45 minutes. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Trying to figure out the system. There's no system, you fucking knucklehead. It's roulette. The ball lands on a... Do you really think that this is that fixed? He's writing down, trying to figure out a pattern.
Okay.
Idiot. Okay, idiot.
So how successful was he?
Terrible. He loses everything everywhere he goes. Everything. But
The house always wins.
see, what he was trying to do is what anybody would try to do. There was a point to bringing that retard up. You are trying to find an edge that, piece of information that everybody else in the room doesn't know.
Right.
So if you have that information on a particular car and you think you can make money, you're going to bet heavy. And that's when the pots will come up. That's what real gamblers like. Now, I mean, if this is just about some guys making a friendly wager and everybody watching, I don't see where that's interesting, exciting, or does anything for grudge racing or the racetracks. Nobody in the stands is going to listen and be like, wow, those guys are racing. Not only are they qualifying, they've got a $3,000 bet on it. I would have to think most people at that racetrack could pay like $3,000 and they're watching $200,000 to $400,000 cars going down a track.
I don't know. I don't know if the people in the stands actually know how much cars cost or care. And I think most people in the stands would think $3,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah, I guess from the perspective.
I mean, we can't look at it the way we look at it. You know how much engines cost. Obviously, I do too. You know how much racing cost, and you do too, and how much you used to race for. 99% of the people in the stands don't have that perspective.
But they got to look at one of those cars and know that the guy didn't build this for $50.
All right.
You know what I mean?
All right, I'm going to go back to our other podcasts, and I think I made a statement, and I think I know I'm true, that about 97% of the general public is stupid.
Yeah.
So
No,
okay.
and if it adds
Well,
to
at
the
least
entertainment of getting people in the stands,
they don't know how much cars cost.
yeah. Oh, that's got to be as much as a new Corvette. No, you could get 5 new Corvettes for that.
But I
thing.
mean, do you want to turn this into the WWE drag racing?
Right. Well, yeah, they already have people grudge racing for belts.
Are you serious?
really?
Yeah. You get the title G-body belt.
All right. Here's where.
Shut up.
Yeah, they have the G.
Oh.
Oh, you got to trust me. They have the G-body belt. You get the belts for this and that. 29-inch tire belt.
It's all over. Somebody turn off
So
the
once
lights.
you put the this is why I stay so hard on it, because I see the drama and the entertainment just spiraling and taking away from the natural aspect of what it really means.
And
that
that
just killed me.
yeah, like the belt thing.
they got the belts.
I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of
It's a
people
South
out
thing.
there.
South thing, North, South, Atlanta. They got all the
You
belts.
know, you get down there.
Oh, here comes the H word.
All right, I'm gonna let him go. That I have never in my life watched professional wrestling.
Right.
Never.
How can you?
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. And I'm sorry if there's a whole bunch of street racing car guys that watch it. I just
It's
find
stupid.
it. Okay, well, Tom said that. That was my. that was Tom.
Well, it's fake.
I'd like to have some listeners
There
by
are
the end
some-
of this. I
there are
already
some-
said
but there
99% of
some
people are
that
stupid.
swear it's
97.
real. They swear it's real.
Well, those people,
Those people are in the 97 percentile.
That's Tom at
And how much money?
anotherhater.com.
Here's the thing: how much money is generated with wrestling?
A ton.
a ton. You're
Millions
absolutely right.
and
No,
millions.
it's
of
entertainment.
dollars.
You're right.
I mean, I'm busting. It's entertainment. It's
Right.
what it is.
but
Everybody must know that.
yeah, but I guess what is it that we take this a little more seriously? We take
Exactly.
our cars and our racing a little more seriously. That we don't want to see it go that direction.
That's where I'm going with it.
That's where he's going with it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see grudge racing for a lot of money. I'd like to see this other show take off
At a
'cause
racetrack.
Right.
I agree.
At a
Me too.
racetrack,
At
and
a racetrack.
I would watch that every week.
And
House of Grudge. We're speaking of.
It'd be
Yep.
cool.
And I would-
I hope they have the true characteristics of what we know to be what we've experienced in our lifetimes, and they put it on TV as best they can.
Why
Now,
don't we do it?
I was going to say, they ought to call us and consult.
Yeah, okay.
We can do it. We have a racetrack here. We know everybody. I know everybody.
Well, it's first off, it's already being done.
So we can do it better.
We probably could, but listen. I got enough projects going on.
Yeah,
You
me
know what you
too.
just said? You said something, and you said that these guys, it's like their racing is just a moment of fancy. It's what they decided they wanted to do, and then tomorrow it's off to the next thing. I'm going to go parasailing in Bermuda or
Can I just be clear?
Yeah.
I never said it's a moment of fancy.
well,
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know where it came from either. I was trying
It came out of you.
I
trying to be a
I think
little
it was
more-
a fad. as you
Yeah, it
returned
was
to
a
it.
fad. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not the smartest guy by any means. I
You
will.
said moment
I
of
will
fancy.
f up words and. All right, so listen, if this is a fad to a lot of these people, I've had a million things that I've been into are fads. Security cameras. I mean, even for that matter, you could even say this. You know, you get into doing this,
Right.
but it seems like I always go back to cars.
Yeah,
no
true.
matter what I'm looking at.
True.
I found myself the other day. I don't do motors anymore. And I told Tom this. It happens more times than I find myself on Snap-on Tool Site looking at new tools. I end up on Superflow's dyno site looking at new machines. And I'm like, really, wow, look at that.
Because it's hard to forget what you know.
You can't.
Yeah.
This is a drug.
This is why I can't just let stuff like that go by without speaking up.
Mike's gonna have a chassis dyno in that building one day.
and we're gonna have to build some cars to put back there and test it out.
I told you I'm looking for a G. Oh! I did find a G body. Maybe I get the G body belt if I'm really lucky.
Did you find? Did you really find one?
No belt. That's on the list. That's on the list. No belts. We don't want no belts.
What did you find?
My friend Pete, who I hadn't talked to in quite some time, said that he knows where there's one in Middlesex. It's an old lady, and it's not currently for sale. And I said, do you think you can talk to the lady? And he delivered the car back to her when Anthony had worked on it. It's a 2-door, 78 or 9, nothing done to it. Original V6 car. It's perfect.
Nice.
So
What color?
I don't know. He didn't say what color.
Doesn't
it is.
really matter.
I don't give a
Yeah, I was
shit.
going to
What
say,
color-
not
what
for
color were you
sale is
gonna
pretty
paint
easy
it?
to fix.
What color are you gonna paint it?
I don't know. Maybe
Probably yellow.
Maybe yellow.
I don't know about yellow.
Kidding me?
I don't know about yellow.
No.
No, G-body's-
Malibu's got to be black.
Yeah, G-body is tough in yellow.
Yeah, so I will. I'm looking, and the G body belt. I think I'll let them guys. Keep
What
it.
would you put a small block in it?
LS1 or LS base motor,
big LS.
big LS, either single or twin turbo. I would like some kind of sophisticated trans. I don't want to make a
You don't-
drag car.
You don't want a clutch.
No, well maybe a DSG, right, Alan?
There you go.
Is that what it is? DSG?
Dual shaft gearbox.
There you go. Something sophisticated.
KGB,
What's that?
the German Secret Service.
Okay.
Or Russian.
I'm thinking gearboxes, and you got me.
German. It wasn't. Who said Russian?
No, KGB, that's Russian.
Okay.
Yeah, KGB is Russian.
Okay.
I know. I don't know.
It is Russian.
All right.
That's right.
Are we talking
Valkyrie
about,
or whatever.
Are we talking about the Cold Era? Was it?
Yeah, the Cold War era. That was
Yeah.
their secret police, right?
Right.
Russia.
Yep. But I want to make. I don't want to make a kid's car. I don't want to make an all-out drag car. I want to make a real street car.
You know what's cool? A version of what we had in the Camaro. We had that Donovan drive, which is a piece of junk, but Lenko makes a torque converter drive.
Yep.
That you could put a Liberty behind.
Yeah, I know they do.
Because chasing clutch stuff
Wow.
is just dumb.
But you have to think with all of the stuff that's come out in the newer technology of cars,
Right.
between, dual shaft gearboxes or, twin clutch gearboxes and the Corvette new crazy automatic. We've got all kinds of new technology. That stuff will make it, into what we're doing now.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Eventually.
Now, the question is any of it strong enough to handle it? I think we found out that the Mitsubishi stuff, not the Mitsubishi stuff, the Nissan stuff and those GTRs,
Yeah, not even close.
but I know, but it handles a lot more power than the car originally had.
Oh, yeah, but doesn't handle what the car will make.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't have any thoughts of making a 4,000 horsepower street car. I mean, I want
No,
I
but,
want to
you'll,
make,
but you'll make over 1,000.
yeah, I want to thousands. Look at us throwing numbers around. It would have never happened years ago.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, 1,000's a joke now.
I know.
It really is.
I know.
It's silly.
We're getting old.
Yeah. It's funny.
I was just going to say, yeah, I'd like
So
between
are we
1,000 and 1,500.
Are we going to ride in this Malibu this summer? That's the goal.
Yeah, I want
This
this to
summer.
be a
Let's
street
go.
car.
Okay.
I want this to be this summer. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
can't imagine I'll
I
ever
was
get a
saying.
chassis guy to do stuff that fast.
Trust me.
What do you got to do to
We can do it
chassis?
by August.
What do you mean?
You're going to tub
What, you
it
think I'm
and
going to fucking hang the 7.5-inch rear in there and put a little Band-Aid over the cover or wing nuts so I can take it apart?
No, what you should do is put a mini tub in it and just put a Moser 12 bolt in it, big axles and everything.
I want somebody to look at the back end of that car and not be able to get a quarter inch sideways through it.
Oh, okay.
I want a big fucking tire.
Oh, okay.
I want a big
All right.
tire.
You
I
want
want
the Pro
it
Street
low.
look? From the back end?
Absolutely.
Okay, but that's an 80s look.
Don't care. I want to roll up to traffic light and heat that thing up and let it go. And I know I can't hook on a street, Tom. I know that never happened. But I want to
Is that a
leave.
shot at me?
Yes. I want to leave a traffic light with both front wheels in the air. That's what I want.
Holy
I want that thing to
Didn't
be
they
right.
do that in the Fast and the Furious?
Yeah, but they had, Nas.
They
had
did have Nas. They did have Nas.
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 And they always had blue flames coming out of
No,
everything
they actually
before.
had a hydraulic lift underneath the car. When I saw that, it kind of disappointed me.
That whole movie was awful for car guys.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? I think the Street Outlaws are played out. I'm actually done talking about these guys. Don't care. I want the NHRA to get behind the grudge racing and like the House of Grudge thing. They should. This would help them get more people in the stands.
Agreed.
For regular events. This could be really good for them, and they wouldn't have to send nasty letters. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, they're doing the right thing. They just. Sorry,
we're good.
Oh, yeah, they're doing the right thing, but they just don't have the desire to put resource behind it.
I think that's just a little bit of marketing, and as it is right now, I think attendance in drag racing overall in the NHRA side, national events, is it still as good as it was?
It's pretty good.
Is it pretty good?
Yeah, they put some people in the
I
stands.
saw some shit on TV the other day, and granted, it was qualifying, and I wanted to watch qualifying. Didn't look like there were that many people there.
No, well, they don't go for qualifying.
No, you and I go for Friday night to watch Pro Stock. Everyone fills the stands on Saturday and Sunday for the fuel cars.
Yeah.
I'm just so not into fuel cars.
Actually, Friday night at Englishtown, they do have the night session for the pros, and it's really, really popular and full. A lot of people.
They're very good at getting people in the stands. They're just absolutely awful at. They seem to have this chip on their shoulder that they're not a good TV show because they have for years now gotten a terrible, terrible deal from ESPN.
Well, it's actually it's not a good TV show. They've never been able to manage the racing as hard as they've tried to do it with rules and with diapers on the car. Stuff always happens that they can't get the turnaround right and keep people interested.
What they need, see, we can fix this for them.
I know.
They need Street Outlaws, camera views, and they could make an 8-second pass or a 6-second pass last 5 minutes, and then they could talk about it.
Funny thing is, they brought Pro Mod on, I think, in my opinion, they brought Pro Mod in as a pro category to keep people in the stands, to keep people coming because everything else is so damn boring.
Yeah.
Wow.
When
I
actually
never thought of it like that.
when Pro Stock comes out, a surprising amount of people leave, which I've always thought Pro Stock was the most interesting class by far.
I think real car guys would. Single most sophisticated drag car out there, most refined.
Yep.
Not knocking the fuel guys, but I mean they got blowers, they got nitro. It's nothing but a game of getting down the track and managing your clutch. Pro Stock is the most refined drag car you're going to find. Normally aspirated,
and the competition is so tight.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Very tight. Reaction time, very important.
You look down those qualifying ladders and you look at the distance
It's
between.
crazy.
It's crazy. It's amazing that you could have that many different people in different cars making passes and being that close.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
Within a tenth and a half of a second.
That's exciting in itself.
Yep.
For a true car guy.
And it's funny because somebody that runs a tenth and a half faster, the regular person would think that, man, they're all that close, but at the finish line, it's a ton.
Well, keep in mind when you're talking about a tenth and a half, that's on a kind of from a number 1 to number 16.
Yeah.
And you hope that sometimes you see less.
Oh yeah, sometimes you do.
And I mean, you look at the top couple guys, and they're separated by hundreds or thousands.
By thousands.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I think it's crazy.
Tom, thanks for the manly T-shirt you gave me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. I'll be wearing this tonight.
Wear it in good health.
Many thanks.
I'm going to wear it tonight.
Sweet.
I'm going to TGI Fridays with a young date. So young for me is like 32. So
Nice.
Oh, dude.
I'm going to put this shirt on.
Good luck. Don't, Mike. Don't.
Yeah, Mike.
Don't.
It's a lot of stuff on the list.
We got to talk about one more thing.
Go.
And I have to play this sound effect for Tom.
Hang on, that is the throb of a turbocharged flat 4 engine. A sound that all over the world heralds the imminent arrival of a moron.
Would you like to tell people about your little Subaru story?
I guess I could.
It's a pretty car.
It is a cool car.
Nice car.
It is
All
a
right,
neat
so,
car.
so I have an engine that went in it this week, and it's a lot of experimental stuff. It's a stroker, it's a Chevy rod in a Subaru, it's a big bore.
So very complex.
It's pretty complex for a Subaru. I went to a really good head guy. I got a brand new turbo, billet wheel, dual ball bearing. It's all the best shit you can get. And it blew up on the dyno as soon as they started it up.
Oh, man.
And I have to ask, was it this ultra complex new technology stuff that broke?
No.
Okay.
It was the basics, man.
Okay.
You know what? I can't throw anybody under the bus, but what happened was some debris got in and locked up both intake cams, and it's not as bad as I'm making it sound. It didn't blow up. It It shut right off. No damage to the short block. It's getting new heads tomorrow, actually, on a Sunday.
Okay.
They're working on it.
At no cost to you.
No cost to me, but
Okay.
it sucks because it's a friend of mine, a customer.
Right.
I didn't want him to have to take the motor out again.
Are you sure it really broke and they didn't lend it to a wedding party?
What kind of wedding party would that be?
Well, I mean, I hear things about Subarus. I mean,
Well, do tell. No. Yeah, no, I got pictures. They sent me
of the
pictures.
wedding or the broken?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
Poor Tom.
No, it's all good.
I'm looking forward to going for riding that thing.
Yeah,
I
it should be
think
fun.
This is what we're gonna do.
No, it's a
You're
station
gonna-
wagon. We can all go.
That's
You're
right.
gonna get the Malibu together.
Mhm.
Tom's gonna get the Camaro together. I'm gonna have the Camaro together, and we're gonna ride.
And what are you going to do, Alan?
We're gonna ride.
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, you got
He's got a jet ski.
Alan's got the nice pickup truck outside though. I just saw it when I came in.
the Dodge.
Well, I've got.
It's got a different color to it. It's a nice truck.
Yeah. It's
I've had it for a while. I'm getting good use out of it. It's a station wagon for the kid. Pulls the jet skis and all of that. I don't know if I'm
Jet
ready.
skis. Look
Yeah.
at this guy. The engine.
yeah. He's living the,
Yeah,
the
he's
Bay
living the life.
Baywatch life over there.
Oh, yeah. Don't I look
Wisconsin
it?
1 week, jet skis the next. What can
But
you
yeah, I
do?
don't know at what point I will be able to afford my next streetcar, but the itch is definitely there.
What kind of car?
My neighbor has a 66 El Camino that
Wow.
is.
If you say that, you know what you shouldn't say, so don't say it.
I thought he was going to say.
I
it.
did too.
I
was-
I
was
will,
holding-
I will reach over there and choke you out somehow.
What? I'm
I did-
lost. I'm lost. I didn't know what he was going to
Go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, it's your turn in the barrel for a little
Sorry.
bit.
That's
man.
fine.
Just a little second. Did you ever hear of anybody referred to an El Camino as an El Cam? Alan sent me text messages. I'm looking at an El Cam, and I'm like, what? An El Cam, and I'm like, what?
Mike's thinking it's a camera system he doesn't know
I-
about. And he
I-
can't imagine how.
I don't know. So when Alan's like, yeah, I was looking at it, I'm like, here we go. Here comes the El Cam, and he put it all together.
I navigated.
No,
well.
he did.
Yes, you did.
Good job.
Okay.
So continue with your El Cam story.
No, it's the
It's a
body's
heavy-
a little plastic. It's got
heavy too,
decent
right?
paint on it, but he already has his
What year?
66.
It's a nice year, though.
Oh yeah, I haven't had that Chevelle body yet. That's I've had every other year. I haven't had that one.
That's a cool
Are you
call.
an El Camino guy? Like, do you like them? Like, as a
Generally,
vehicle?
yeah. I've
They
had.
don't
I've
hook.
had.
They don't hook.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I've had several though that they've just grown on me. My dad's last car was an El Camino, so there's a little bit of an emotional hook there
I
too.
hear you. I hear you on that one. Yep, I hear you.
If you wanted to be
we
cool,
look forward to seeing that now.
Well, like I said, I've got stuff I have to do for the house, and it's still single income. So
priorities, man.
So yeah,
Priorities.
Crunch is about out. Your kid's going to college, right?
Oh, yeah.
My son is a freshman in college,
Yep.
and
Good
he
for
doesn't even
him.
call me anymore. We hung tough. It's my little mini me. Now he has a girlfriend and freshman in college. And I
Oh,
don't even
forget
hear
it.
from him.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
even-
over.
Yeah, he'll call you.
you
He'll
got
call you in
nothing
5
on her.
years.
I'm going racing.
Yep. But I mean, see, you're almost out. You're helping with college. You're doing the dad thing. Tom, your endeavor is just starting. Alan,
Well, my last one on
Yeah.
in college, but
yep.
but I'm okay.
And you have a long way to go.
Yeah, but when she starts kindergarten next year, maybe I can get a job.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Dude, you know what you ought to do? Save
Starts kindergarten
if you
next
like
year?
El Cams.
Wow.
No, if you want an El Camino, that's cool.
Okay.
Try to figure a way to import one of those Australian Utes.
Yeah, they are really ugly, but they're still kind
no,
of.
they're not. You know what it is?
No, I've never seen it.
You know the 2004, 5, and 6 Pontiac GTO?
Yeah.
It's a GTO El Camino with,
Are you
with
serious?
an LS2 in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Same
no
front end?
doubt they're fast, but to
GM
me
and
they are a bit
GM
ugly.
sells them in Australia. They're pretty badass.
And they're newts or utes?
Ute.
Utes. That's what they call them.
What is a Ute?
And that was the judge.
The two Utes.
The two Utes.
My cousin Vinny. Only New Jersey guys would really understand
That's
that.
true.
All right. Well, I think we had a pretty good show. We hated on Street Outlaws, so we got that out of our system.
Yep. No, we didn't. We'll do it again.
We discussed your Forester F up.
Yep.
Crunch, we know your deal on real grudge racing. And I got to tell you, I'm right there with you.
Me too.
And I hate to hate on those guys, but, look, it's their money. They can bet what they want.
True.
But I'd like to see something a little more substantial.
Cool.
Alan,
As always.
you're getting there.
Well done today,
You're
man.
getting there. You did good today. Give a round of applause for Alan. He actually talked today. Thank you, Alan. And we'll make sure. Look, we have the engineering section that we talked about. We're going to have people write in questions. And I'd love to be a dick and like hand them to them like, okay.
You can't say that.
I can't say dick either. What
That's
dick?
on the
not,
list.
it's not offensive.
I know,
unless
but
you're a
it's-
lesbian.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Listen, I'm not.
Sorry about that.
I'm not gonna. I would love to push the record button and then hand you paperwork.
Yeah,
and say,
you
Here's
get
your
you get the
questions."
look I had today.
But I'm gonna make sure you have the questions ahead of time. And so if anybody's got any questions, send it to Alan at anotherhater.com. That's what we're going to be using for now until the other domain's all set up.
Alan the engineer.
It's just going to be Alan at anotherhater.com.
ALAN.
Yep, ALAN, because I guess that can be spelled a couple different ways. I never know how to spell your name. That's why I call you Fudd.
Yeah. Even better. FUDD at
You want it to
another.
be Fudd?
Yep. Leave
All
it
right.
FUD.
FUD, FUDD at anotherhater.com. Send some questions in, Brown, so we can actually get them to talk, and then we can make a little more fun of them. All right, everybody, thanks, and we'll see you next time.
See you again.
Thank you.
Take care.
See ya.